2. The deepest part of the Mariana Trench was not silent. To Lyra, it was a symphony of groaning rock, chittering crustaceans, and the low, mournful songs of the leviathans that passed in the eternal dark. Her own voice joined the chorus, a shimmering ribbon of sound that echoed through the canyons. A song about the cold comfort of the abyss and the distant, remembered warmth of the sun. Her melody faltered when a new sound intruded. It was not organic. It was a low, resonant hum that vibrated through the water, not through her ears but through the very marrow of her bones. It felt wrong. It felt loud, curious, and against the ancient warnings whispered in her kind's lore. Lyra pushed off from the thermal vent she'd been resting near. Her powerful, iridescent tail propelled her upwards, leaving the crushing blackness for the slightly less crushing indigo of the mid-water. The hum grew stronger, a pervasive thrum that scared away the siphonophores and sent schools of bristlemoths scattering. Then, she saw the light, too. It was not the gentle, bioluminescent glow of an anglerfish or a jelly. This was a sharp, unwavering, electric blue, cutting through the water in clean, geometric lines. It was attached to a shape, a smooth, obsidian wedge that had buried itself into the seabed like a fallen star. It made no sound of the sea, only that relentless, internal hum. This was no creature of the deep. This was something else. Lyra hovered, her silver hair floating like a halo around her face, her webbed fingers tingling with caution. The stories spoke of metal from the sky that fell and grew cold and dead. But this thing was alive with its strange energy. As she watched, a section of the smooth hull irised open, spilling that shocking blue light into the water. And something emerged. Lyra's first thought was that it was a very ugly, very fragile squid. It had limbs, 5 of them, each ending in delicate, articulating tendrils. Its body was a smooth, grayish-green, and it was encased in a shimmering bubble of air. It moved clumsily, jets on its back sputtering to adjust its position against the water pressure. Its head, or what she assumed was its head, was large and dominated by 2 enormous black eyes that reflected the ship's light and the faint glow of her own skin. They saw each other at the same time. The alien creature jerked, its tendrils fluttering. One limb rose, and a light on its wrist blinked in a rapid, rhythmic pattern. Lyra recoiled, ready to flee. But she didn't. The creature made no aggressive move. It just watched. Its large eyes held no malice, only a deep, profound curiosity that mirrored her own. Slowly, Lyra raised a hand, not in threat, but in greeting. She opened her mouth and let out a soft, questioning note. A single, pure tone asked, "What are you?" The creature tilted its head. It then raised its own limb and, from a device on its wrist, emitted a sound. It was a series of clicks and whirs, completely unnatural, but the cadence was unmistakably a response. "And what are you?" This began their conversation. They had no shared language, no common point of reference. Lyra sang of currents and constellations, seen from the surface of the taste of krill and the feeling of sun on waves. The alien responded with symphonies of static, with patterned lights that danced across its suit, with holograms that sputtered in the water, depicting impossible shapes and maps of stars she did not recognize. Showed her an image of a world with 3 moons hanging in a purple sky. She showed it by tracing in the silt the shape of her home, the trench, and the world a land above. She started to think of it as a he, for his movements seemed deliberate and thoughtful, pointed to the surface, then to his own chest, then to the vast, black water above them. He had come from there. From beyond, she pointed to the crushing depths, to the thermal vents, to herself. She was from here, he was from the endless sky. She was from the endless deep. They were both travelers in realms the other could not survive, meeting in the fragile watery border between their worlds. Lyra found a rare, perfect seashell, its spiral a logarithmic miracle of pearl and cobalt. She offered it. The alien took it with surprising delicacy in his mechanical tendrils. In return, he offered her a small, smooth crystal that pulsed with a soft, internal light. It was warm in her hand, a tiny sun from another world. For a timeless moment, they were not alien and mermaid. They were just 2 minds, adrift in a universe too vast to comprehend. grateful to have found another who understood what it meant to be alone in it. The hum of the ship changed, rising in pitch. The alien creature turned its head. The light from the opening began to strove. Day. He looked back at her, and though his face was unreadable, his posture spoke of regret. He pointed upwards, to his ship, then to the void beyond the water. He had to go. Lyra's heart, an organ that beat with the slow, cold rhythm of the deep, ached with a new kind of pressure. She sang a farewell, a song of safe journeys through silent realms, of currents that would carry you home. The alien listened, his large black eyes unblinking. He then placed a tendon against the clear bubble of his helmet, a gesture she understood. A touching of faces, a goodbye. He retreated into the blue light, and the opening sealed, leaving the abyss once again to its natural dark. The hum intensified, rising to a frequency that was almost painful. The water around the ship began to boil with energy, and then, in a flash of light that illuminated the entire canyon for one blinding second, it was gone. The water rushed in to fill the void, crashing with a thunder that echoed through the deep. Then, silence, or what passed for silence before. Lyra was alone again, but she was not the same. In her hand, she held a tiny pulsing star, and in her heart, she held a truth more profound than any pressure the deep could exert. In all the immense crushing loneliness of existence, they were not alone. The universe was not a void. It was an ocean, full of strange and wonderful voices, and for a moment, two of them had harmonized. She opened her mouth, and her song, once about the abyss, was now about the stars. The end. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.